Hi, friends. Today we are going to start talking about the rest of our United States of America symbols that we have been learning about. So far, we've learned about the Statue of Liberty, the Liberty Bell, the bald eagle, the American flag. And what did we learn about last week? Do you remember? Yes, we learned about the White House. And what is the White House? Yeah, the White House is where the president lives. So, we're going to watch a little video just to kind of remind us of all the different symbols of our country. A symbol is something that represents our country. So, when we look at it, we can think about parts of our country and our history that are important.
Subscribe to our channel, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up for more. Red Cat Reading. Learn to read. Symbols of the United States. U.S. symbols. The United States is a big country with many symbols. A symbol is a thing that stands for something else. U.S. flag. The United States flag is an important symbol. The stars stand for the 50 states. The stripes stand for the 13 states when the country was new. The first U.S. flag was made when the United States became a country. That flag only had 13 stars. Stars were added for new states. The U.S. flag got 50 stars in 1959. Bald eagle. The bald eagle is a symbol of the United States. This strong, beautiful bird lives for a long time. U.S. landmarks. The United States has many famous landmarks. Landmarks are important objects, buildings, or places. Many U.S. landmarks honor times in America's past. The Statue of Liberty welcomes people to the United States from around the world. The word liberty means freedom. Many people have moved to the United States for freedom. The Washington Monument honors George Washington. He was the first president of the United States. The Washington Monument is in Washington, D.C. This city is the capital of the United States. The Lincoln Memorial honors Abraham Lincoln. He was president long ago during the Civil War. Two parts of the United States fought against each other. President Lincoln did not let the country break apart. The President of the United States lives at the White House. Every president but George Washington has lived there. Many important meetings happen at the White House. The Liberty Bell is a huge bell that stands for freedom. The bell rang when the United States became a free country. It also rang at other important times in America's past. Long ago, the United States only had land east of the Mississippi River. Many people faced dangers to start a new life in the West. The Gateway Arch was built to remember them. Mount Rushmore is a landmark on the side of a mountain. The heads of 4 U.S. presidents are carved into the rock. Each U.S. symbol stands for people or ideas that are important to Americans. Which symbols do you want to learn more about? Subscribe to our channel.
All
And
right,
if you
we are going to learn about Mount Rushmore today. And we're also going to learn about the Washington Monument and the Lincoln Memorial. I want you to be working on this all week. So I want you to watch the video. And then the rest of the week, I want you to be working on your book. Do you guys remember your USA book? This is what we're going to do the rest of the week. So first, let's talk about Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore is located in South Dakota. It is a sculpture of 4 US presidents. They are carved into the mountain, okay, the side of the mountain, and this mountain is called Mount Rushmore. The presidents' faces that are carved in this mountain are George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln. The sculpture is 60 feet tall, and Mount Rushmore is a symbol of freedom and hope. It cost almost $1 million to build and make Mount Rushmore. It took 14 years to make the carvings inside the mountain and over 400 people to work on it. The sculptures are made of graphite. And graphite is a type of mineral that you find in rock. It's basically a type of rock. Okay, so as you can see in the side of the mountain, it has their heads carved in it up on the top of the hill. And this is something you can go see. We're going to watch a little video about it so we can learn a little more.
From the American Symbol Series, Show Me America presents The Story of Mount Rushmore.
Alex and his grandpa Charlie were busy cleaning out Grandpa's basement. They thought it would be a good summer project while Alex visited since it was too hot to spend too much time outside. They moved lots of boxes around that afternoon, and Alex started to get curious about what was in them.
Grandpa, what's in these boxes over here?
Oh, odds and ends, but mostly old photographs.
Can I peek?
Oh, sure. Happy to take a rest for a bit.
Oh, cool. There are old black and white photographs.
Oh, wow. These are from my honeymoon with your grandma.
What's a honeymoon?
Yeah, it's a trip you take after you get married. We drove to the Dakotas to see Mount Rushmore, among other things.
What's Mount Rushmore?
Oh, my. I can tell you live in Hong Kong. Don't your parents teach you anything? Mount Rushmore is one of our most iconic American symbols. It has 4 faces of former U.S. presidents carved into the Black Hills of South Dakota.
Who are the 4 presidents?
From left to right, we've got George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abraham Lincoln.
So why were they chosen to be on Mount Rushmore?
These 4 presidents represent the first 130 years of our history and cultural heritage. Each had an enormous impact on the growth and development of our country. George Washington was our first president and served as commander-in-chief of our army during the Revolutionary War with England. Thomas Jefferson was also one of our founding fathers and was the main author of the Declaration of Independence from England. He was our 3rd president and during his term made the Louisiana Purchase, which doubled our country's land at the time and expanded it west of the Mississippi River.
Can you show me on a map?
Yeah, let's do that when we go upstairs. Do you want to hear about the other 2 presidents?
Sure.
Okay, so Abraham Lincoln became president about 60 years after Jefferson did. He was in office during our country's Civil War and brought freedom to slaves. Theodore Roosevelt, or Teddy as most people called him, was president in the early 1900s. He had an adventurous spirit and helped preserve the country's beautiful land by establishing many national parks and forests. Alex, I'm looking forward to showing you the national parks like Yosemite and Yellowstone next summer.
Yes, I'm really excited about that road trip. Can we also swing by Mount Rushmore?
Oh, can't really swing by. Driving in the West takes a lot of time. The U.S. is really big.
So how long did it take to sculpt those faces into the mountain?
Over 10 years. It took 400 men to create it, and they had to use tons of dynamite to chip away at the granite.
Wow, that's cool. So, which president do you admire the most, Grandpa?
Oh, that's a tough question, but I'd say Jefferson. He had a strong vision for the country and made important contributions as part of Congress and as president. He was also an intellectual who promoted science and education. To me, he's a great example of what a public servant should be.
Thank you.
All right. And they talked about the national parks in there, and we live in a national park. We go to school in a national park here at the Grand Canyon. So let's talk about the Washington Monument next. The Washington Monument can be found in Washington, D.C., and it's an obelisk shape. This means it's a tall building with a pyramid on the top. We know our pyramid, that's a 3D shape we've been learning. It was built to represent the first president of the United States, who was the first president? Yes, George Washington. This monument stands 555 feet tall and is the tallest building in Washington, D.C. However, it's the tallest obelisk shaped building in the whole world. No other building in Washington, D.C. is allowed to be taller than the Washington Monument. Inside, it has an elevator and almost 900 stairs, and you can go all the way to the top and you can see the entire city of Washington, D.C. And then down at the bottom, there are 50 American flags that go around the monument in a circle. And these represent the 50 states of the United States of America. So one of those flags is for Arizona, where we live. Last one we're going to learn about is the Lincoln Memorial. The Lincoln Memorial is a building in Washington, D.C. that represents Abraham Lincoln. Inside the building is a huge statue of Abraham Lincoln. The statue is 19 feet tall. The building is made of white stone and it has 36 columns. You see those big tall poles around it in the front and the sides? Those are called columns. You can find the Lincoln Memorial, a picture of it on the back of the penny and a $5 bill. Abraham Lincoln believed that all men should be created equal and treated equal, which is why the Lincoln Memorial not only represents Abraham Lincoln, but it represents freedom because Abraham Lincoln was the president that helped free the slaves. All right, friends. We are going to work in our book on the next video. So go ahead and read some of the epic books I put on the website. And then I want you to get your USA American Symbols book out with me in the next video. And we're going to write some of our answers in here and color our pages. We are going to finish this week because after this week, we are done learning about this. And you'll be able to read this book and tell these things to your friends and your family and teach them all about our American symbols for the United States of America. Thank you so much for doing this lesson with me. I can't wait to see you again in our video to work on our book together. All right, have fun reading some of those epic books and I will see you soon. Bye, friends.